Welcome back to Wiseman Company, fellas. Today we're going to talk about pepper spray. Pepper spray is a tool you should absolutely have in your lineup. It is low cost, it doesn't take up much space, and it gives you options. I'm sure if you don't carry pepper spray, you know some females in your life that do carry it. I know of more people that have defended themselves with pepper spray than they have with a firearm. That's a fact. And there's less legality that typically goes with pepper spray compared to a firearm or a blade. Today specifically we're going to look at the POM lineup. POM did send me this, but I have bought plenty of POM products in the past. They're kind of an industry standard. There's a ton of videos on POM out there, people getting sprayed in the face, different distances, different metrics looked at. POM does a great job. There's other great brands too, but POM, like I said, is kind of an industry standard. Not all pepper sprays are created equal though. That being said, what do you want to look for when you're trying to pick out a pepper spray? Well, there's kind of three things that come to mind for me. And that is the MC, which is the major capsaicinoids. So the MC is going to be right there. This one is 1.4 MC. And this is, if I understand correctly, it's kind of an equation they come to understand the potency of the spray. 1.4 is kind of what you want to find. I think 1.2 would be on the low end. There are some sprays with 1.2, but 1.4 is kind of the standard. That's a good MC. Quantity, how much is in the can? Obviously, these are really small. They're meant to be small, so you can carry them in a pocket, fanny pack, backpack, run with them in your hand. How much is in the can? Distance is the third thing. How far is it going to shoot? It depends on, again, the brand and the size of can, but just for example, this Mark III from POM, which is their larger can, not huge, it's going to have a distance of 18 feet. That's on the high end. If it's windy or you're shooting into a breeze, it's not going to be 18 feet. The closer the better, keep that in mind. This little guy, the POM Original, is going to be 10 to 12 feet. A lot shorter distance, comparatively speaking. Obviously not as big. You're going to want to be confident in your presentation when you whip this thing out. There's a little nub there. It's kind of an index point. You don't want this finger sliding up and covering the hole. That's not going to be any good because you're just going to spray pepper spray right into your finger. And again, 10 to 12 feet, not terribly far. Aim for the face and neck and chest. When you're using pepper spray, you're going to want to use it in bursts. So what they say, 1 to 2 second bursts. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Again, depending on the size of the can, there's going to be more or less in it, and that's going to regulate how much time you have to spray. So for this Mark III, you have 8 seconds of spray. For this little guy, you're going to have 10 seconds of spray, but it's a lesser quantity at a time. So larger quantity in a shorter amount of time, less quantity in a longer amount of time. Things you have to weigh. For some of you, it won't matter. Size is going to dictate everything, and this little guy fits in a pocket nicely. To deploy with POM, really easy. No switches or levers or safeties. They just have a little cap, kind of like a fighter pilot. It's spring-loaded. Slip your thumb underneath, press down, and you're going to sauce them. Pretty easy to use. If I was carrying these, I would make sure they are in a pouch or a compartment, like if you're carrying your fanny pack or a pocket or something like that, by themselves. So that way nothing can get underneath these flaps and accidentally discharge them. Not a huge concern. Probably would have to be some real fluke incident for that to happen, but still, if you just put them in an isolated pouch or pocket, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so how do I carry mine? I carry this little guy. This is the original POM the majority of the time. Disappears in the pocket, has a great pocket clip. You can buy it with different attachments, like a keychain attachment, and there's one other one, but I like the pocket clip, again, because the pocket clip is actually good, and it sticks in your pocket and disappears. So I like the pocket clip version, and if I'm going out and about in the world, regular day stuff, this is typically in my pocket, and I carry it in my front right pocket. Or I keep another one in my fanny pack. I'd much rather carry the Mark III, but it's bigger. It's comfortable in a pocket if there's not a ton of other EDC items on my body. Like I don't have keys, I don't have a cell phone, I don't have pocket knives or multi-tools. So basically if I'm going for a run or if I'm going for a hike, I'll chuck the bigger one in my pocket. I'd much rather have this, get a little bit more distance. That's really what's important to me. And the button is a little easier to access. This, like I said, is tiny, so you gotta be really familiar with where everything's at. That being said, luckily they have a trainer. I would highly recommend picking up a couple of these. I think they're like $6. And they mimic these almost to a T. You can simply just swap out the bottom, stick it on here, and now you have a trainer that you can actually use on a live person if you wanted to. You can use it on a cardboard silhouette. You can use it on a spouse if they want to get some reps in. Even for kids, get some good reps in with this inert POM spray. Highly recommend picking up a few of these. So with the POM lineup, if you're going to place an order, I would honestly get all 3 of these, at the least. If you're going to place an order, you're going to pay shipping. The Mark III, I believe, is $18. The OG is $13, and these little practice inert canisters are $6. So low barrier to entry when we're talking about financials. You can, if you're feeling zealous, get the OG POM in like bulk packs, so quantities of 3 and 5, I think. And what's really nice is you can change these rings, these colored rings, on the OC spray, so you can designate them for different individuals or different people. I just put red on here because it's bright, and that just screams pepper spray. All right, fellas, pepper spray. It's not just for old ladies. I mean, it can be just for old ladies, but again, pepper spray gives you some flexibility over lethal options. Again, I've heard a lot more stories and had a lot more firsthand experiences with people using pepper spray to defend themselves from bodily harm than I have a blade or a gun. Get a couple of them, stash them at different spots. This one stays by the front door. This one I carry around most of the time. You do what you need to do. Get yourself some trainers. POM is a great brand. By the way, POM stands for peace of mind. I never knew that. It's kind of cool. But get yourself a couple different variants. Carry them. Give them to your loved ones. You could save their life, honestly. All right, guys, if you have any questions or recommendations about pepper spray or thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I appreciate you watching this video. Go to Wiseman Company. That's the best place to support us. A lot of great gear over at wisemancompany.com. Thank you. We'll see you on the next video.